So over the last few weeks, we've looked at some jukebox characteristics and how a character in Raising Kanan relates to a character in Power. We've looked at a lot of Kanan parallels and conversations as well, so we're going to be doing the same in this video, looking at some parallels and storylines from Power to Raising Kanan, and this video is going to be split into two parts. We're going to be looking at how the situation with Lulu being caught in the fire was a very similar situation to what we saw with Kanan at the end of season 2 in Power, but more importantly, how this could change Lou and how this could have implications on Worrell in the war against Unique. We're also going to be rewinding it back to this conversation between Kanan and Tariq in Tariq's hallucinations, and why this could be a key detail that we need to look out for over the next few episodes, which could tell us why Kanan told Tariq that he has to be the one to kill his father Ghost, because he would never see it coming from him. And I think the truth is very close to be revealed about how Detective Howard is Kanan's father, so could we see something similar play out between Kanan and Detective Howard, just as we did with Tariq and Ghost? So those are the two topics that we're going to be breaking down today, but of course if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 3 and Power Universe related. But let's start with Lou first, and by rewinding it back to Power to one of my all-time favourite seasons, which was season 2. After Kanan had come back, he sent Sean to kill Ghost, albeit Sean wanted to be the one to do it. Ghost knew that Kanan wanted to kill him. In fact, he knew way before then. He told Tasha that he was back for revenge, for them being the ones to set him up to go to prison. But in the battle between Ghost and Kanan, Ghost stabbed Kanan and left him to be burned alive in the warehouse that they were in, and Ghost thought he was dead, and to be fair, so did many others think he was dead. And it was the exact same case for Scrappy just a few episodes ago in Raising Kanan. So bringing this back to Raising Kanan, we saw a very similar situation play out with Lou, with his house being lit up and he was trapped with all the gunfire that was coming his way. He had no escape route. Now we don't actually know if he caught a bullet in the process, but he definitely was in a bad way from inhaling all the smoke. But this whole situation that played out reminded me to that of Kanan's in Power, because we have two characters who a lot of people thought they were dead after both their situations. But come next week, we're going to find out that Lou is alive in the next episode, but I'm sure he's going to be badly injured and he's going to take some time to recover, just like Kanan did in Power. But just like how Kanan used this to his advantage with Ghost thinking he was dead in Power, Raquel can do something similar. And we spoke about this whole Scrappy situation and how he could come back in disguise if Unique and his crew think he's dead. And the same could be said with Lou. But Worrell could play a huge part in this war, because yesterday we spoke about the 48 laws of power and how you need to completely crush your enemy. And with Worrell not completely crushing either Scrappy or Lulu, when Unique finds out that Scrappy and Lulu are still alive and Worrell didn't finish the job on them, he could very well turn on Worrell just like he turned on Trez G. And Worrell could play a key role in this war between Rack and Unique, and I think this is something that is being overlooked. He's someone who has taken away two of Rack's most trusted soldiers in Scrappy and Lou, made it out alive from two situations with Lou and Marvin, and a bit like Dre, someone who seems to make it out of situations where you think his time is up. How we saw Dre play two sides, doing what was best for himself and flipping sides. This is something we could very well see from Worrell, so he is definitely someone we need to be mindful of. And how we thought Dre earned his death for a very long time, he stuck around for a very long time, and I really wouldn't be surprised if we saw something similar from Worrell. But this whole situation which Lou finds himself in will change him, and we know they're setting him up to be involved in music a lot more in season 2, especially after he forced Crown into a 50-50 partnership with his record label. But he will be pulled back into the game, and especially with him telling us that he'll always fly the same flag he's always done. He's loyal, just like Marvin is, except Lou has one eye on music, and him telling us in episode 8 that he's taken the night off was a huge mistake on his part, because in this game, there are no days off. If you hesitate for 1 second or make one mistake, it could prove costly. You have to constantly have your head on a swivel, just like one of the regulars Jay mentioned in a comment a while ago, which to be fair to Lou, he did when he was at the showcase, but he did let his guard down just for a moment in episode 8, and that's something you can't do in this game. And although I do think this will change him, he still has a huge role to play within the Thomas organization, and especially for Kanan, because he's someone who we haven't seen mentor Kanan yet, not even one single scene where they bonded or spoke, apart from episode 1, which was very brief. Lou will definitely have a role to play in Kanan's development, and this is another reason why he won't be able to pull away from the game. And when we do see these two characters interact, I wonder if Lou is actually the person who teaches Kanan chess. This is something I'm sure they'll answer at some point in the series, where Kanan learned chess from, and Lou seems like the perfect uncle to learn it from. But let's talk all things Detective Howard and connect the dots as to why this conversation between Tariq and Kanan in Tariq's hallucinations could come back around and make sense with what we could see play out between Kanan and his father Detective Howard at some point. Not necessarily this season, because I do think Howard will make it out alive. But let's rewind it back to season 6, episode 15, where Kanan appeared in Tariq's hallucinations just before he killed Ghost. It was Kanan who convinced him that it should be him, not Tasha. He told him, what do you think he's gonna do? If Tasha pulls, he pulls, it's over. But he won't see it coming from you. and Ghost definitely didn't see it coming from Tariq, so let's keep this in the back of our minds while we talk about Detective Howard and how he wants to be the one to tell Kanan who he really is. So bringing it back to Raising Kanan, in 1991, he told Raquel that he has all the evidence that he needs to put Kanan away for 6 accounts of murder because of all the dead bodies in the streets, because of the blue caps, and he wanted to meet Kanan, he wanted to know him and tell him who he is, tell him that he's his real father. But there is no way he can just roll up on Kanan and just tell him. Kanan definitely wouldn't believe him, and this is why he wants Rack to smooth things over for him to tell Kanan the truth. Now in episode 9's trailer, it does seem like Raquel is going to tell Kanan the truth, so they want us to think anyway, but she's always kept this a secret as a way to protect him because the streets would eat him alive if they ever found out that he was a son of a cop. And I do question whether Rack is going to tell Kanan the full truth because she'll want to continue protecting him, but I do feel the truth is getting closer to being revealed because time is running out for Detective Howard. So as Howard pushes to meet Kanan and tell him the truth, Rack could very well have no choice but to let Kanan speak with him, and many think that Lulu was called by Rack to kill Detective Howard. I spoke about the angle of Marvin yesterday, but let's look at the other perspective of whether Rack wanted to kill Detective Howard and plant Unique's jacket to pin the murder on him, because Howard has been pushing up on Kanan and Raquel wants him as far away from him as possible. Now killing Howard and planting the murder on Unique definitely does kill 2 issues for Raquel, and I can see Raquel trying to pull some shit like this because there's no way she would want the word out about Kanan being the son of a cop. But with Lou in recovery and definitely out for a while, this is where I want to connect the dots back to Tariq's hallucinations and the conversation between him and Kanan, and how Kanan said that Ghost would never see it coming from him, and I think you could very well say the same thing about this scenario between Kanan and Detective Howard. Would Detective Howard ever see it coming from Kanan if he was to pull on him, just like how Tariq did with Ghost? How many of us really thought in season 1 that Tariq would be the one to ultimately put Ghost in his grave? Not many. Now in my opinion, I don't think Howard will die. I don't think Kanan will kill him, not yet anyway, because I think he's going to play a key role in season 2, and killing a detective always brings you unwanted heat and attention, which you don't want, and Ghost told us this. It was one of many reasons as to why he stayed clear from killing anyone in law enforcement, but I really wouldn't be surprised if Kanan is ultimately the one who kills Detective Howard, because as he told Tariq, he would never see it coming from him. And I am going to go into a small part of episode 9 synopsis, so for those of you who don't want to know anything from the synopsis for episode 9, then I suggest you turn off the video now. But in episode 9 synopsis, it does tell us that Rack is going to ask Kanan to get rid of the biggest threat to the family, and that could very well be Detective Howard. Of course, we still need to remember that there's Davina, who's gone into foster care. Lil Rob also snitched, and he was the one who told Detective Howard that Kanan was the one who was behind the bad crack, and this information got back to Raquel as well, and he'll need dealing with, because snitches don't live very long on the world of power, so I expect him to be dealt with at some point over the next 2 episodes. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section on the parallels between the situations that we saw play out between Lulu and Kanan from Power and Raising Kanan, and will Kanan be told the truth about Detective Howard, and who is the threat that Raquel has asked Kanan to get rid of? Drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section, and of course if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you can see everything Power Book 3 and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.